Welcome back to my video. This is Biology Form 4, Chapter 12, 12.3, Neurons and Synapses. Okay, our nervous system is made up of millions of nerve cells known as neurons. Okay, nerve cells are neurons. So, we must know the basic structure of neuron. They consist of cell body, axon, dendrite, myelin sheath, node of Ranvier, and also synaptic knob. And there are three types of neurons: sensory neurons, relay neurons, and also motor neurons. So, we look at the basic structure and the functions of the parts of neuron. So, this is neuron. Okay, this is cell body. Cell body ada dendrite here, short branch, and then this is nucleus, and this one axon covered with myelin sheath. Okay. And then here node of Ranvier, and di sini synaptic knob. Okay, so we go one by one. The first one, this one is cell body. Cell body consists of nucleus and many cytoplasmic projection called dendrite. So yang ini dendrite. Okay, the cell body integrates signals and coordinates metabolic activities. And then second one here, dendrite. This is part of the cell body. This is dendrite. Short branches of the cell body. Dendrite receive nerve impulses from other neuron or the external environment and then send them to the cell body. Maksudnya nerve impulses itu receive here lah, from other neuron ataupun from external environment itu received by dendrites and then sent to the cell body. Okay. Okay, and then next one, this one is axon. Okay. Ni axon, yang panjang-panjang ini axon. Axon is an elongated branch of the cell body. Axon carries impulses out of the cell body to other neurons or effector. So, beza dengan dendrite tadi, dendrite ini dia receive nerve impulses. So, axon pula dia akan carry the impulses out of the cell body to the neuron, to other neuron or effector lah. Okay. So this axon covered with myelin sheath. Ini myelin sheath. This is insulating membrane that coats the axon. Okay, coats the axon. Function dia adalah untuk protect neuron from injury, as an insulator for the electrical impulses, and also provide nutrients to the axon. Okay. And then di sini kita nampak di sini adalah node of Ranvier. Okay. So node of Ranvier ini adalah parts of the axon that are not insulated by the myelin sheath. Nampak ni dia tidak covered by the myelin sheath. Okay. This gap is known as node of Ranvier. The node of Ranvier helps to accelerate the flow of nerve impulses by allowing the nerve impulses to jump from one node to the following node. Okay. So remember the functions of node of Ranvier. Kemudian di sini kita ada synaptic knob. Okay. Synaptic knob. This is the swelling part at the end of the axon branch. The synaptic knob sends signals to muscle cells, gland cells, or other neuron dendrites. Okay, so maksudnya di sini synaptic knob ini dia send impulse ataupun signal to muscle cell di sini, effector, to the effector, muscle cell ke gland cell for example, dan juga other neuron dendrites. So synaptic knob dia akan pass itu signal kepada ada neuron, manakala di sini dendrite di sini dia receive. Okay, dia receive signal itu daripada ada neuron pass to the cell body. Okay, so kita ada 3 jenis neuron kan. So kita ada motor neuron, sensory neuron, dan juga relay neuron. So untuk motor neuron, ini adalah motor neuron. Okay, this is the dendrite, this is the cell body, ada nucleus di sini. So this is the directions of impulse flow, and this is the axon. Axon dia covered by the myelin sheath. Di sini synaptic knob dia. Okay. So motor neuron can be found in the ventral root of the spinal nerve. They receive nerve impulses from the relay neuron. Okay, receive nerve impulses from relay neuron of the CNS atau central nervous system, and send nerve impulses to effector. Okay, such as muscle, glands. Okay, untuk appropriate response lah. Okay, so kena tahu motor neuron ini untuk apa. Receive dulu impulse daripada relay neuron, lepas tu dia hantar kepada effector. Itu adalah motor neuron. The cell body is present in the gray matter of the spinal cord. Second one is sensory neuron. Ini sensory neuron. Di sini dendrite. Okay, dendrite, directions of impulse flow. So, di sini cell body dia. Ini dia punya axon. Okay, axon, dan di sini dia punya synaptic node. Okay, present in the dorsal root of the spinal nerve, carries nerve impulses from the sensory organ receptors to the central nervous system. Kalau yang ini, dia carry itu nerve impulses daripada receptor. Okay, receptor yang detect any changes. Okay, sensory organ receptor. Kemudian dia akan hantar kepada our CNS, central nervous system. Okay, the cell body is found in the dorsal root ganglion. Dendrites receive nerve impulses from the receptor and then send them to the cell body. Okay, from the receptor send them to cell body. The nerve impulses are transferred from the cell body through the axon, kemudian pergi kepada next neuron. Okay, begitulah nerve impulse itu. Dia kena pass daripada satu neuron kepada neuron yang seterusnya. Okay. Kemudian yang ketiga adalah relay neuron. So di sini relay neuron, dia ada dendrite, di sini dia ada cell body, ni nucleus, directions of impulse flow, di sini dia ada synaptic node. Okay. Nerve fibers found in the central nervous system connects the sensory neuron to the motor neuron. Maksudnya ini adalah relay neuron. Dia di tengah-tengah. Dia yang connect itu sensory neuron dengan motor neuron. The cell body can be found in the cluster in the gray matter of the central nervous system. Send nerve impulses from the sensory neuron to the central nervous system and from the central nervous system to the motor neuron. Sebab itu dia disebut sebagai connecting the sensory neuron to the motor neuron. Okay, sebab dia carry atau send nerve impulse from sensory neuron pergi CNS dan juga from CNS pergi kepada motor neuron. Okay. Okay, seterusnya adalah synapses. Okay, structure and functions of synapses. Okay, information is sent along the neuron through electrical signals known as nerve impulses. Okay, nerve impulses itu adalah electrical signal. Itulah information yang sent through the neuron. Impulses are positively charged wave that flow along the axon to the synaptic node. Okay, there is a narrow gap called synapse that separate the synaptic node from neuron dendrites that receive the impulses. Electrical signals that carry information must be transferred across synapses for impulses to be transmitted to the following neuron. So maksudnya information itu perlu di transfer from one neuron to the next neuron. So information itu adalah electrical signal, kita panggil nerve impulses. Tetapi di antara satu neuron dengan neuron yang seterusnya itu, iaitu daripada synaptic node kepada dendrite neuron yang seterusnya itu, ada satu narrow gap yang kita panggil sebagai synapse. Dia separate itu synaptic node daripada dendrites neuron yang seterusnya. So electrical signals itu ataupun kita punya nerve impulses, dia kena pass through the synapse supaya dia boleh transfer from one neuron to another neuron. Okay, one neuron to the following neuron. So bagaimana cara kita punya nerve impulses ini akan pass through the synapses. Okay, so synapses play an important role in allowing the nerve impulses to travel in one direction. So sangat penting supaya kita punya nerve impulse travel in one direction only. So synapses, they control the types of impulses that pass through them. So impulses are transmitted chemically across synapses. Chemically di sini chemically. Kita tahu information itu adalah dalam bentuk electrical signal yang kita panggil sebagai nerve impulses. Okay, so dia akan pass through the synapse dengan cara transmitted chemically. Okay, transmitted chemically. So the chemical substance involved are neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters kept in the synaptic vesicle that are found at the end of the synaptic node. So two examples of neurotransmitters found in most synapses are acetylcholine and noradrenaline. And other examples are serotonin and dopamine. Okay, dopamine. The process of transmitting impulses through synapses is slow as it occurs chemically. So firstly, the electrical signal, okay, kita punya electrical signal itu change first to chemical signals in the form of neurotransmitter. Then the chemical substance is converted again to electrical signal on the membrane of the receiving neuron. Okay, so ini adalah transmission of impulses across the synapse. So first sekali di sini, electrical impulses tadi kita punya nerve impulses itu adalah electrical signal kan. So electrical impulses itu first dia akan reach the synaptic knob. So this is synaptic knob. Okay, di sini adalah receiving neuron lah, receiving neuron. So di sini adalah synapse, gap di antara synaptic knob dengan the following neuron. Okay, so when the electrical impulses reach the synaptic knob, synaptic vesicles are stimulated. Di sini synaptic vesicle, okay, dia stimulated to release the neurotransmitter into the synapse. So neurotransmitter di sini adalah kita punya electrical impulses yang sudah bertukar kepada chemical. So di sini neurotransmitter released by the synaptic vesicle to the synapse. Okay, itu yang pertama. And then second one, the neurotransmitters diffuse through the synapse and combine to a specific receptor protein. Di sini specific receptor protein yang warna hijau ini, specific receptor protein, which is a receptor on the dendrite of the receiving neuron. So kita sudah belajar sebelum ini sebentar tadi, dendrite will receive, okay, receive the impulse, kan? Okay, so di sini adalah dendrite of the receiving neuron. Di sini ada protein receptor yang akan combine dengan neurotransmitter. Okay. Number 3, the binding of the neurotransmitter and the receptor stimulates the initiations of the next impulse so that impulse can be transmitted through the neuron. So sebenarnya beginilah yang terjadi. Okay, impulse, electrical impulse itu dia kena bertukar dulu dalam bentuk chemical, iaitu neurotransmitter. Bila neurotransmitter dia akan diffuse through the synapse, dia combine dengan protein, specific receptor protein di sini. Okay, kemudian the binding di sini, the binding of the neurotransmitter dengan receptor protein di sini akan stimulate the initiations of the next impulse. So now the impulse transmitted lah through the neuron. Okay, begitu cara dia untuk transmission of nerve impulses through the synapse. Okay, so di sini kalau kita perhatikan, di sini we have mitochondrion kan. So di sini mitochondrion generate the energy required for the transmissions of nerve impulses. Okay, so that's all for today. We will continue in next video. Thank you.